If you have at least $1,000 saved to cover unexpected emergencies, you're already financially better off than 60% of Americans. Now, this is according to Bankrate's latest survey. Here's the deal. Most people struggle to manage their finances, and very few people are truly responsible with their money. A good relationship with money isn't about higher income. It's about making responsible choices and avoiding everyday pitfalls. And the biggest issue is that people don't have a clear financial goal. My name is Jerry Pincus, and I help teach people about money, personal finance, and investing. So give me a thumbs up if you're good with that. Now look, if you're serious about your financial goals, make sure you subscribe to this channel. Here's the number one reason why most people are broke. It's because they don't have a financial clear goal. Now, financial goals aren't the fluffy dream stuff. It's your GPS for every single dollar that you earn and you spend. Look, without goals, how do you prioritize paying off a $30,000 student loan, or negotiating for a raise, or saving for a down payment for your home? Look, if you've got vague vibes like, I want to be rich someday, you're going to get zero action. And if you're a young person, here's the deal. It's not that hard. You want to start simple. You set a payoff goal. Something clear like, I've got $10,000 in credit card debt that I want to pay off in 18 months. You pay minimums on everything. Then you massively put money towards that credit card because you want to knock that out. Smallest balance for quick wins. Or aim to build $5,000 emergency fund by your next birthday. Whatever it is, you write it down. You break it into monthly steps, because I'm going to tell you something. If you put it on paper or in writing and then review it weekly, this turns broke as into I'm on track. And I'm going to tell you what happens. This becomes a fun game. You track your net worth monthly, your assets minus your liabilities, and you see it climb. I mean, even if it's $100 a month, this is the jet fuel that sets you off. And the reason number two is why people are broke is because they don't prepare for emergencies. Now, flashback to what I just said at the very beginning of this video. 60% of Americans could not cover a $1,000 surprise without going into debt. And with young adults hit hardest by economic instability, this debt trap is just waiting to snap. Unexpected hits like a phone dying or a fender bender is not a what if. It's a what when, and when is this actually going to happen? Because it will. Because according to AAA, the average unexpected car repair is now running $800 to $900. And this is thanks to parts inflation. No buffer? Look, you're swiping your credit card at 20 to 24% APR and turning that one-time fix into months of interest hell. I mean, what if the rent is due and your laptop fries while you're job hunting? Or worse, a health scare hits without insurance gaps that are covered. So this is why you want to build your fund young. Because if you aim for $1,000 first and then later on 3 to 6 months later and scale 3 to 6 months of expenses, have that in savings, or automate your $50 a month or $50 a paycheck into a high yield savings account, may not seem like a whole lot. But I'm going to tell you, even if you get side hustles on weekends and Uber Eats or freelancing on Upwork, all this speeds it up. And this isn't a nice to have. It is your literal shield, your debt shield that goes over you. And reason why people are broke number three is they don't budget. Here's a wake up. Only about 30% of Americans consistently stick to a budget. Now, this is way down from pre-inflation days because tracking feels more like a chore with rising costs. It's hard to manage, right? But without a budget, your money instantly vanishes into subscriptions or just this once shopping spree or nights out on the town with friends, and leaving you wondering why your debt isn't budging. For young debt fighters, budgeting isn't a restriction. It's actually an empowerment. If you use 50% for your needs, like your rent or your loans, and 30% for your wants, like coffee runs and other stuff, and 20% for savings or debt extra payments, you can see this stuff happening through apps like Mint or Pocket Guard. When you sync your accounts, you flag yourself, and it lets you know if you're overspending. You track for 1 month, and you can quickly spot the leaks in your budget. And easy ways to crush that debt is to meal prep, to slash food costs, negotiate bills. And when you do this, celebrate with small wins, something like a movie night. I'm going to tell you that budgeting turned my friend Jim's $25,000 credit card hole into paid off freedom in 2 years. And I know that you can do this too. And the reason why most people are broke number four is because they don't think about the future. Hey, look, you deserve it. YOLO, I'll worry about my retirement later on. Look, too many people in their 20s and 30s fall way short. And FOMO is real. But skipping your future means that by your 40s and 50s, you're footing the bill for today's fun then you're piling on more debt. But there is a sweet spot. I just want to let you know about this. You can enjoy now without nuking tomorrow. Just contribute to a Roth IRA early. The earlier, the better. It's time on your side. Even at $100 a month at 7% average returns, this compounds to $200,000 plus by the age of 65. And I can tell you this, I started putting away $75 a month when I was 18, and today it is a massive amount of money. If you currently have any debt, forgive yourself for your past slip-ups and just focus on your future. Refinance student loans at lower rates. Check out credible.com or start a 401k, and if your job matches it, look, that's free money. And trust me on this, compound interest is your best friend. It'll either work for you or against you. So if it's working for you, you want to start small because it's going to thank yourself later when you see the pile. Now, reason number 5 is why most people are broke is they have expensive habits. Look, we see it on TV, we see it on Instagram. Wealthy folks don't have caviar addictions, but I'm going to tell you that broke folks have sneaky habits that add up faster than you actually think. Tattoos? Oh gosh, I got to go get another one. Or vaping or smoking. Hey, did you know the average pack of cigarettes today is $8.50 nationwide now? That's hitting $255 a month for a daily user. And that's part of a car payment that's redirected to health bills later on. How about eating out? Look, nothing's normal anymore, but eating out, the average meal per person clocks in at about $55 with the tax and tip. Just a casual spot. We're not talking about luxury dining. And if you hit that 3 times a week, boom, that's $700 a month. That's enough to wipe out a credit card balance. Now, still to this day, I swap the daily lattes for the home brews, and I save $5 a day. And that's $150 a month. But think about batch cooking for meals and lunches. Look, any of this stuff is about breaking habits and freeing up cash flow. And the reason number 6 that people are broke is they have bad debt. Look, all debt, it's not evil. It's good debt. If you have a low rate mortgage on an investment property, that's building wealth. It could be even giving you income. Bad debt, that is your villain. High interest loans for stuff that loses value, like expensive cars or impulse gadgets on the 0% promo cards that balloon to 25% APR. You know what I'm talking about. Now, today, the average student loans are $37,000, and credit card debt has just hit record highs at $1.13 trillion. And financing a $500 phone over 24 months, you're paying an extra $100 in interest on a depreciating brick. So if you're living beyond your means, you're going to get trapped yourself with minimum payments forever. But there is an escape plan. You list your debts by interest rate, your highest debts of interest, and then you start working on those. You negotiate lower rates. You call the issuers and say, match this compared to a competitor, and then avoid new bad debt by using the 30-day wait rule. You want it? Wait 30 days. Most urges are going to fade, and your wallet's going to win. And the reason that most people are broke, number 7, is because they spend more money just to impress people. Now, look, I'm not a fan of Dave Ramsey, but he did nail this one. He said, we buy things we don't need with money that we don't have to impress people that we don't like. In an Instagram era, how many fake people do you see? How many fake people do you see out on the streets? Go ahead, put it in the comments. So don't get caught up in the cycles of envy or overdraft fees. True friends vibe with your energy. So if you are with a friend who's high-fiving you when you hit a debt milestone, knocking it out, you can splurge $20 on something that's meaningful, something like a book on investing. And the reason why people are broke, number 8, is because they don't pay themselves first. Saving what's left after the bills, that's a recipe for broke. Look, if you pay yourself first, 10 to 20% of your income goes straight into savings or investment before you even touch the rest. And most will skip this and they let life get in the way, right? And then it eats it all up, leading to absolutely zero growth and more borrowing. If you're burdened by debt, you can automate to get rid of it. So like $25 a paycheck into a Roth or a index fund. Vanguard's great for newbies. And once this debt is tamed, then you can ramp up your investing. And this is what builds wealth passively. So $200 a month at 7% over 30 years, that's $250,000 on investment. You don't have to make any decisions. There's no temptation. And this is effortless for your busy schedule. Look, most broke folks aren't doomed by bad luck. Here's the truth. They're chained by repeated bad choices all across America. So if you're young, the system is rigged against you unless you fight back. So don't let it happen to you. Audit a habit today, set a goal, start a budget, transfer $50 into savings. The seemingly small, insignificant things that we do on a daily basis turn into the compound effect for us, or the compound effect against us. So if any of this fired you up, go ahead, comment below. What's your biggest money mistake that you've made? I've made plenty. Or what's your biggest money win? Go ahead and put it below because we're in this together. And go ahead and subscribe for more tips on investing, personal finance, passive income, retiring early, financial independence, saving money, or even making money. Because if you subscribed, I'm going to see you in the next video. Take care, guys.